Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. I am your host for this show, Etchy, filling in for Random Number Generation that will return in 2 weeks at its normal time, October 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. But until then, we've got a wonderful Monster Hunter World Xeno% speedrun done by Jal Bagel, and I think we should just get into it, Jal. What do you think?
Yeah, no, let's do it.
All right, I'll just throw it to you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sounds good. Like Etchy said, my name is Jal, or Jal Bagel, and I'm joined by Green Speed. Say hi, Green.
Hello.
And this is Monster Hunter World. If you guys don't know it, it is a action adventure, monster hunting RPG. I don't know, man. It's fun. It's exactly what it sounds like, Monster Hunter, and we're doing it in a world. The game's a lot of fun. The speedrun's super fun. I absolutely love this thing. I've been doing it for 5 years now. And what this game lacks in like skips and glitches, it makes up for in just pure technical skill. The category that we're doing is Xeno%, which is just any percent. It's the base game, if you're familiar with it, low rank and high rank. And we're using a subset of the categories called add-ons, which allows us to use things like defender armor, defender weapons. We'll talk about it more here in a second. I think we should just get started. It's kind of a long run. Green, you want to give me a countdown?
Absolutely. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. The first thing you'll notice right away if you've ever played this game is that we're cheating. We're skipping cutscenes. The game's release, there were unskippable cutscenes. There's an hour and 3 minutes of them. So for the first 2.5 years that we were speedrunning this game, we had an hour and 3 minutes of downtime. Now that downtime is 100% optional. But right out the gate, our boat got hit by a mountain and it stuck right there. And we're a little sus about that mountain, so we're going to go ask it for insurance. So we have to climb the top of it. Like I said, Monster Hunter is this game is mostly just about exploiting the resources that they give us and a lot of technical skills. So we'll talk about a lot of like really technical kind of nonsense. But if you guys have any questions in chat, please ask. We're gonna be looking at it. Bro's doing LS? No, we are actually, so there's 14 weapons in the game if you don't know. We're going to be using 2 of them throughout this run, Sword and Shield and Switch Axe. We'll explain our decisions for them a little bit in each place. But those are kind of the 2 fastest weapons. And my route varies a little bit from the other top 3 routes. Which is actually kind of cool because, the first, second, and third place all use different weapon routes at different times, which is kind of neat. I don't know if there's anything else we want to preface with first here, Green.
We are using some special armor. When the DLC for this game released, Capcom decided they wanted a way for new players to get to the expansion faster, so they gave us the Guardian armor, which is what Bagel's wearing right now. That doesn't really help us go faster, but it does give us defense, so we're less worried about dying. More importantly, they gave us defender weapons, which we'll unlock soon. And those are, for the level of game we are at, the strongest weapons available. So not only do they deal a lot of damage, they also have guaranteed drops to upgrade them. So it removes a lot of RNG, makes it a lot more consistent and a lot faster.
Oh, yeah. And that was one of the painful things when this game first came out, was RNG. So, yeah, it turns out the giant mountain was a dragon. And that dragon's trying to get away with insurance fraud. He won't give us his information, so we're going to go hunt him down. So right out the gate, our companion here, the handler, makes us an accessory to petty theft, and we steal a notebook from that tent. No idea whose it belongs to or anything like that. She just stole it and then gave it to us. Now we're an accessory to crime. But this is the Ancient Forest, and if you guys have never played this game, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Despite being a little whitewashed, the game is absolutely stunning as far as like Monster Hunter games are concerned. And that's why I keep coming back to it. But this section, this is the Ancient Forest, our first kind of area that we are introduced to, and the game's teaching us some new mechanics that were introduced to Monster Hunter World. First up is stealth. Stealth is something that we'll actually use multiple times throughout the game because we can use it to manipulate monster AI, right? Like monsters behave in specific ways depending on, how the character is moving and how other NPCs are moving in the areas. We're going to use stealth to manipulate that a little bit. So right here, we're hiding air quotes inside of the bush, and hiding from these green lizards called Jagras. We'll find some more of those guys later. And then just waiting on the handler here to get out of her bush, and we'll take some time to set up menus. Not too many like absolutely necessary things that I'm changing here. The only thing that's really a time save is turning off autosave. Saving takes time. That cuts into it. We'll cut it out. How much time did it end up saving, Green? Didn't you figure that out?
45 seconds.
Yeah, see, look at that. Free 45 seconds. The next mechanic that the game's going to introduce us to is track gathering. We can pick up this little footprint here, and that would give us research points. The research points, as they accumulate, tell us more information about the monster. The game will force us to do that later. There's a track gathering segment in high rank, and we'll talk more about that when we get to it. But just know we have to pick up feet prints, smell them, and then we learn more about the information of the monster. All right. Last little bit here is we're making the run for our little base of operation, our home. But first, we're going to be saved by the one and only Matt Mercer, also known as Field Team Leader. I'm convinced that's a wall bang, right? He was doing wall bangs before Iceborne even came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that monster's great, Jagras. We'll come back to him later. We don't have a weapon yet, so, we can't fight anything with our bare fists. Not yet, at least. Capcom fist weapon, please. And that's Jurassic Park, also known as Anjanath. And done with the tutorial. Air quotes, tutorial. So Monster Hunter is a really cool game. If you ever played these, they are hub-based adventure games. So between each mission, we'll always come back to this area, Astera. This is kind of like our hub. It's actually a couple different hubs, and when we unlock the next one, we'll only be using that one because it's so much more convenient. But Field Team Leader here, FTL, he wants to show us around, and we want to go fast, so we're just gonna run away from him. You may notice something about the game too, is that we aren't playing the game in English. We're actually playing in the game in Monster Hunter's own made-up gibberish language called Monster Hunter language. It's incredibly creative. Makes some of the text boxes go a little bit faster in our mandatory text sections. But right here, Field Team Leader is trying to show us around Astera. We actually have 2 points of time where NPCs want to show us around, and they have this radius around them that forces us to walk. We can actually get outside of this walk radius here in a second and sprint away from Field Team Leader to go a little bit faster. We call that Mercer Skip because we found it when we were still playing the game in English, and Matt Mercer voices them. So, good old Mercer Skip. But it's really easy to do. We're just going to run into the corner of this area up here, get away from Field Team Leader, and then make a hard left and run down this this bridge here. Super easy to get, impossible to miss. Definitely none of the top 3 runs have ever missed this ever. Smile.
Definitely not. Definitely didn't. Second place definitely did not miss this and the other similar trick and then get beaten by the exact amount of time those 2 tricks save.
Yeah. Obviously, that would never happen, right?
Yeah.
So these are little council meetings, and this is where language actually makes a difference. Monster Hunter language can convey entire thoughts in single grunts, and you'll notice every now and then there's a text box I can't clear like that one. It's because it's linked to the voice acting, so shorter voice acting means the text gets cleared faster. And this saved almost a minute, doesn't it, throughout the run?
40 seconds? I haven't looked at that number in a while, though.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we looked at that one. All we know is that this one in our testing so far is the fastest language. All right, now we get to pick our weapon. So like I said, we're gonna be starting with Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield's a really versatile weapon. It's one of those easy to use but hard to master kind of weapons. And we are going to abuse every little bit of the mechanics that Iceborne introduced with it. Maybe not for this next mission, but later on in the run, absolutely. And our first mission here is going to be a small monster mission. It's one of two. We're got to go and hunt 7 Jagras. It's a pretty neat one. We get to kind of manipulate small monster AI here to get it done a lot faster. Green, I'll let you talk about Jagras of the Ancient Forest a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go.
So this quest, we have 2 goals. One is the obvious, kill the Jagras. The other is we need to get set up for the rest of the run. Every quest in this game, when you complete it, will have an end timer. In this quest, it's 60 seconds. By default, most quests have 60 seconds. Since we can't skip that time anyway, we're gonna use it to gather some materials we need to capture monsters. Capturing a monster is an alternative way to end the quest. Rather than outright killing the monster, you can hunt it down to just 30%, get it in a trap, and use 2 trank bombs. And that will not only save you the time of dealing that last 30% of the monster's health, but it'll also shorten your quest timer down from 60 seconds to 20. Now, coming up for the Jagras, Bagel's grabbing a slinger torch here. When he shoots it at the ground, it'll create a little campfire. So before he starts fighting these Jagras, he's going to shoot a few at the mouth of this cave, and then kill 2 of them. Once he kills 2, that'll tell all the others to run into the cave. They'll get caught up on these torch pods and die, and then he only needs to kill 1 more in the cave for the quest to end.
Missed that one, but almost got him.
Now he's going to make a very long run to get the other materials he needs for his trap and trank bombs. And then set up a quick menu to allow him to craft a little easier throughout the run.
I wanted to forward a question from chat. What are your 2's favorite like weapons when you're playing like casually?
Oh man, I don't even know anymore. Switch axe probably still.
Sword and shield.
He's been tainted.
Yeah. It's too good.
I'm a big hammer guy. Hammers are so fun.
Oh, yeah.
Getting big meaty hits on a head, dude, it's so good.
We'll get you to finish this game one day.
I finished. I never did Iceborne. That's the issue.
Yeah, that's the game. You did the tutorial, man.
Yeah.
This is a tutorial percent, actually.
Dude, I still got to go back and finish G rank in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I have so much backlog Monster Hunter content to do.
Oh man, you and me both. So at the end of these first couple of hunts, I'm going to be looking out for specific monster materials, most notably a green bone. We need that green bone to craft a chest piece that'll give us a single level of attack boost, and yes, it makes a difference. But now we get to go to the smithy and get our defender weapon. Like Green had mentioned earlier, we're guaranteed these upgrades, which is really nice. It literally saved the consistency of this run, just always having these, and then it turned it into like a very fun, very fast speed run. We do have a category that doesn't allow this equipment. It is called no add-ons, and it is significantly more difficult. You can go 2 hours into the game and realize that you just don't have a run. Been there many times.
I guess someone in chat is asking what Xeno% means.
Yeah, so traditionally in Monster Hunter games, we usually name the categories after like the final boss of the category, because these games are generally really, really long. We kind of name them after just where they stop, and it's kind of arbitrary too, because there's a lot of like different paths that you can go, especially in the older Monster Hunter games. So in this one, the final boss monster that we're going to be fighting is Xeno'jiiva, or just Xeno%, but it's synonymous with any percent. It's the first credits. All right, so this is our second small monster hunt. This is Kestodon Kerfuffle. or Kestodon Hashirashi for the fans. But we got to slay some Kestodon here, and we're going to see the kind of just power that defender weapons start to bring. In addition to their just high raw damage, they also have an ailment called Blast. So about every like third or fourth hit, it'll just explode and deal a fixed amount of damage, and it's good. It's good for small monsters because they vanish. Is there a skip for Zora Madara stages? Hey Green, is there a skip for Zora Madara stages? This is Monster Hunter World speedrunning copium. I'm right here, by the way.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about that while we're standing on Zora's back for 7 minutes.
True. Yeah, very true. Yeah, we'll save that for anticipation. We'll tell you guys all about Zora skip. Where's this last one at? Oh, he ran past me. Oh, beautiful positioning. Kestodon Hashirashi. All right, so that's Kestodon. Yeah, there's a little RNG associated with like how they group up, how they exist. So this one's always like a plus or minus 15-second segment. Yeah, they do really well or really poorly. Yes, this does have Iceborne enabled. This is on current patch. So even without owning the Iceborne DLC, you still gain access to like Clutch Claw and those things. So the actual the leaderboards are separated between base game without owning Iceborne and then Iceborne, which means you have the ability to use Clutch Claw. We will be using Clutch Claw, and you'll see a lot of that in this speedrun. Clutch Claw fixed a lot of, which actually is perfect timing for this. Clutch Claw fixed a lot of scripting. And so when I say scripting, I mean exactly that. Just like a play, it has a script, a definitive start and end, and all the actions in between. We do the same thing on monsters. If you're familiar with individual level speedrunning for Monster Hunter, you may already know about scripting. We get to do that in any percent, which is awesome. The Clutch Claw introduces a lot of just really good openings in the form of wall bangs, which we'll see in 2 hunts. But for this one, I'm just going to let this kind of fight speak for itself. Or Green can actually explain it. I'll let Green explain it.
Yeah. So Jagras right now is walking under a big rock. We're going to use our slinger to drop it on him. It's going to do 5% of his health, but more importantly, knock him down, giving us a big damage window. We're going to preset our trap here. The rock knockdown has a higher priority than the trap, so he won't fall into it until he stands back up. Throw down our 2 trank bombs, and now we just need to get him down to 30% health before the trap ends and before the trank effect ends, which should not be a problem. Nice.
Bad double slash. Bad buffered double slash. I lose so many seconds here.
He's trying to get one thing before this timer runs out. It's not required, but it makes the next fight a lot easier. And saves like 5 seconds. Yeah, you're fine.
We're good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Once again, I'm looking for a green bone. Aren't we all? Green bone, let's go. And some honey. All right, so we don't have to worry about that RNG. So there's only like 2 points of RNG in this speed run. The next one's going to be on Anjanath. And we'll talk about more when we get there. But that's to unlock Camp 17 in the Ancient Forest. Oh. I'm just going to do it the old slow way. Oh my gosh, what happened to my brain and my fingers? I think I did one input too early and messed that up entirely. Don't mind me. All right, so the next quest that we're doing is not a real quest, it's an expedition. Expeditions, you just go out into the world and get to exist for an indefinite time. There is no limit to the quest time, there's no limit to the number of times that you can faint. You just get to go out and you hunt, and as you hunt monsters, you get other random monsters will spawn in indefinitely too, and you get to hunt those guys. It's a lot of fun. Expeditions are neat, and we have to do a couple of them as part of progression. We call them assigned expeditions, or at least I do. and they're still static. There's really not a lot of RNG associated with them, except for a couple of spawn locations, particularly Anjanath. For some reason, Anjanath just like will spawn anywhere in expeditions. He's a goofy little dude, but we didn't see him here, so that makes our movement here a little bit better. But in this quest, we're going to be doing two things. We're going to be unlocking a new camp, which we can get to use to, start our quest from. And then also hunting a Kuliaku, which is what this flash pod's going to be for. This flash pod's very, very important, because without it, Kulu gets to attack. But with it, Kulu does nothing. It's really great, because while flash, Kuliaku just stands perfectly still. It's awesome. And not really sure why either. He's like the only monster that does that. And this will be a really good example of one of the forms of control that we use. So, like when we say control, it's really any way to stop the monster from moving. So like forcing specific AI to happen. This is going to be our most common form of control, which is called a claw stagger or a clagger. Claggers were introduced in the Iceborne DLC as an opening for you to use the clutch claw. When you use the clutch claw, it extends the duration of the animation, which gives us an even larger opening to attack. We're going to be abusing that with switch axe to do clagger chains, which will be a lot more evident on other monsters. Just for right now, know that they exist. So first clagger happens right here. Bump. But we're not going to grab this with our clutch claw, and so we're just going to get on with our zero-sum discharge. Got a blast proc for an early one. That's okay. Probably ideal. But yeah, we really didn't talk about zero-sum discharge. Green, can you tell the people why zero-sum discharge is so good?
Yeah. It is consistent damage. Asterisk. Mostly consistent damage. We get to pick a part. You did
What absolutely happened? I buffered that input. Okay, we actually didn't catch it. That's not great.
No, you have to post the quest now, not expedition.
You have to post the quest now. Okay. I could just do it from here.
Yeah.
All right, so this is one. Hey, actually, about that estimate. Oh man, we're doing goofy stuff. These are tutorials I haven't seen before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you explain to the audience why that?
Oh, absolutely.
Why that matters?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let me get back into the quest. All right, so what had happened here was expeditions are unique. They do not have end quest timers. I can stop and buy more traps. All right, we're fine. Yeah, because I can pick up 2 train. We're fine. We're fine. See, what had happened was expeditions don't have end quest timers. So what we do there is while we're placing the trap, we leave the quest. I thought I was going to be okay because I saw a red slinger pod drop from the monster, which is an indicator of health for me. As I saw that, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, let's open up our menu. Let's get ready to press X. And I saw that it didn't capture the monster because the its health threshold wasn't below 30% yet. But instead of hitting circle and getting out of the menu, I hit, like a very smart person, X and went back into leaving.
Yeah.
So, we're here to have fun.
Yeah. You either have to kill this one or Pookie.
I can catch it.
You don't have enough tranks.
I can just go, oh. Yeah, I'll just, oh. You're right. So don't know where it is. It's almost faster to reset.
Yeah, it'll be around this corner.
Oh, this has absolutely happened before. I have absolutely done this before, but these are reset positions. Hey, this is a wallbang. We weren't going to do this until next split, but we'll just do it right now. All right. Kuliaku gets to play the game, but it's okay. Hey, I get the clagger chain at least. 1, 2. Yeah, I just left that quest a little too early. Fine, guys. It's perfectly fine. I mean, you guys like Monster Hunter, right? You just want to see more of it.
Did you say that's never happened before?
I've done it, but I've never done it in Marathon. Because in Marathon, there is no back. Like, you literally just have to do this. And on top of that, right, not only did we have to, like, go through all that rigmarole, get back into this quest, we now have an end timer that we have to wait for. That's like... You remember when I gave you that estimate? And I was like, yeah, it's like 4 minutes safe. That was the 4 minutes. So, we're just going to play perfecly from here on out, and then it'll be really cool. Yeah. No, yeah. Now we just play perfectly. Yeah. So, it's fine. It's fine. We're here to have a good time.
Yeah. If you go over, I don't think people are going to be upset about more Monster Hunter, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think we're good.
Not.
I wouldn't worry.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if that's the only mistake I make this time,
that's pretty good.
I think we'll be fine. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. But yeah, the biggest thing there was recovering and just like not using any extra resources. But like, we'll be fine. We need to do like the next thing now. Oh, whoa! Doing the quest gives you green bone. Interesting. Noted. All right. So yeah, I don't have to reroute anything. I didn't use anything extra.
Yep.
So next is Pookie Pookie. Pookie Pookie is like one of my favorite monsters aesthetically. He's a good friend. And this is just another kind of instance of clagger chaining. A lot of these early monsters we can just clagger chain because their HP thresholds are so low. We can just keep doing enough damage to, you know, force the same control again because the weapon's just that good. But there's a little point of RNG in this one, unfortunately. An Anjanath can be on this quest, and if he's here, we just lose time because we have to get rid of him first. But yeah, that's the only time we can accidentally just throw an entire quest away. Entirely based on like just a missed input, so should be good for the rest of the run. Not here, good. All right, so we're gonna tap it twice with the claw. It's gonna change its position, and we're gonna wall bang it, launching him into this wall. Does a little bit of his health. He's gonna get poisoned by that poison cup. That's an entirely position-based thing. And then we're just going to CSD. Clutch call right onto there. End that one a little early. Ooh, weird. Oh, he'll still roar here. We're fine. What's really unfortunate about this is he's going to try to fly at one point. See if I can't stop him from doing that. Okay, I stopped him. Let's go. First pod. Once again, pods are HP indicators for me. They tell me how much health the monster has left. There we go. Then I can just finish customizing my radial menu here. All right, now that's how the rest of them are going to go. Promise. No more throwing. But yeah, you can see like versus that 60 seconds, just 20. Makes it a lot easier, a lot faster. I got a backup sack. All right, good. That'll be for the end of the run. We're going to give the cat a weapon eventually. Speaking of the cat, we're getting rid of the cat. Your little feline friend that joins you, the Palico, we don't want him with us because he makes fighting things harder. Oh, hey, guys, this is the best kind of quest. In speedrunning, what would you all say is the best kind of quest? Like, the best kind of, like, level, the best IL, the best thing to speedrun. Obviously, that's an auto-scroller, right? This is an auto-scroller. And what's also really cool is, you know, our super duper handy mod that lets us skip cutscenes? Not this one. Absolutely not this one, because if we skip it, the quest soft locks. No idea why. So this is, for every possible definition, the best kind of quest. But it's actually really convenient to have this because it gives us a ton of time to gather resources. We're going to gather like 60% of the resources that we need for the entire run just in this quest. It's awesome. Green, I'll let you talk about a little bit what I'm doing here so I can think.
Yep. So to start out, grabbing some throwing knives from the box, that'll help him out later. Now storing some items he doesn't need, and rearranging his item box so trap tools are in the first slot. Trap tools are pretty much the only item he's ever going to need to pull out of his item box, and having them in that first slot makes every restock he does a little bit faster. Now, eating at the canteen for the first time, it gives us an attack boost, but normally the time it takes to eat doesn't even out with the time we save from the attack boost, but it's an auto-scroller here anyway. There's no reason not to take it.
So I'm going to be doing a lot of gathering in here, and instead of like, you know, droning out the negative space with like the negative air, you know, with why we're gathering all these things, I'll just say it's a lot of trank materials, a lot of our trapping materials, and bombs. We're gathering for explosives because explosives do fixed damage, and we can use them on fights, you know, that we can get near the spawn location of the monster to blow them up. But I mean, this entire section is really convenient. The run, I'll be saying this a lot throughout the run because it's actually one of my favorite things about this speedrun. From the first day that we started speedrunning to today, a lot of the like item routing in this game hasn't changed because the way that this game progresses is just so convenient. You know, like we'll be sitting around and be like, man, you know what we really need here? Trank materials. Well, good thing this quest has both sleep herbs and parashrooms, both things that we need to make tranks. And then later we'll be like, man, we've got a lot of sleep herbs, but no parashrooms. And we'll be thrusted into a quest and specifically onto a route to go see a monster that has 12 parashrooms on it. So what this game just has such convenient routing. It's actually super cool. So we do have to meet certain checkpoints for our little escort mission here. And this is going to be the first one. Crafting 1, 2, and customize that. Perfect. So we just have to be at specific checkpoints. The first two are like right next to each other, which is really nice. They just get out of the way real quick. And then the last one is going to be right before we fight the monster of this mission. And once again, you know, we're just gathering a bunch of materials here.
So one question I kind of had, it's obviously we can kind of see you do some of the fights, but they are pretty fast paced. But how would you describe, I guess, like the differences in how like a speedrunner approaches a lot of the big boss fights versus how you would do them casually?
Oh yeah. So I mean, it mostly just comes down to scripting, right? We have, you know, the very specific things that we want to do to a monster during the fight to get the exact same outcome every single time. Casually, because the game actually just like has protections built in for this. In a casual setting when you're just like playing the game normally, monsters have randomized HP, randomized size, and randomized spawn location. Fortunately for this speedrun, we only do the assigned missions, and the first time you do an assigned mission, the monster has static HP, static spawn location, and static time.
Right.
So we're able to script out all of those things because they never change as long as we're doing it the first time and only the first time. Cool. You know, if we like fail it and we relaunch the quest, then RNG gets, you know, slandered all over the fight and quite frankly makes it infinitely harder.
Right.
Because having to ad-lib these fights with the materials that we have is kind of difficult and sometimes has to happen because a lot of our scripts are very tight. And if you fail one part of it, you just have to abandon it entirely.
Gotcha. So how, what, even with these like kind of scripting that you have, like how much randomness does come into play in a lot of these boss fights then?
For the speedrun specifically?
Yeah.
Mostly in the form of AI, especially later. Like when we start getting to the end bosses, it'll mostly just be AI. And then like legitimately the worst kind of AI, which is my own skill level. Because like a single missed input and you just miss your entire opening, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
it's not like oh like let me just back up and then like try that jump again. That opportunity that you had is just gone. You now have
Yeah.
to completely come up with a new strategy to fight this thing.
Yeah, I imagine improv's like a decent relevant
would
factor
say-
later once you like, because it is so easy to miss like those sorts
Yeah.
of things, right?
Yeah, and at least not to, especially like to not just lose runs entirely. Improv is probably like one of the best skills to recover runs in this kind of a game.
Yeah.
But we're also to the point now with specifically this speedrun, you know, Xeno% with add-ons, that scripting is the fastest way, and there is no ad lib that would be faster, or at least not that we've been able to find yet. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wild, like where this game was versus where it is now. But that's all just because of the defender gear. Now, like if I was doing this without this equipment, you know, the blue armor and this specific switch axe, it's all ad lib. It's 100% ad lib.
Yeah.
You know, the equipment that you get is going to be different every time. The fights are going to be a lot harder because you can't control them nearly as much. So that's just kind of like the benefit of this category. It's like we get that consistency.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Which
so
makes great for marathon
Yeah.
showcases of it.
just play perfectly for 2.5 hours. Got it. Easy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forehead. I mean, and like we say perfectly. There's like a little bit of like give and take, and we're, you know, at least like Green and I are at the point with these scripts too that if we mess up one thing, we do sometimes have a backup, or like we know how to get like the script back. But for, you know, most purposes, it's like if it's gone, it's gone. It's a little difficult to recover from this stuff. All right, so talk a little bit about what we're doing here. We're waiting for the you know, the escort tees to get into this area, and then that's going to spawn our cutscene trigger. So we've set up this super cool little prank for our monster here. When he spawns in, he's just going to immediately fall into it, and then that's going to start our script. And I'll let Green talk about it if he wants to.
Yeah, so equipping a paralysis knife here for once it gets out of the trap. And now Bagel is dealing enough damage to power up his switch axe. You can see the glowing sword in the top left. That's what lets him do his ZSD. So this first one is kind of RNG whether or not he gets a clagger. He did not get it, but that's fine. That's what we have the paralysis knives for. So now we can paralyze the bear off again, clutch on, do a second ZSD, and after this it'll be most likely not capture ready, but low enough health that we can capture it before the trap ends. A bit more damage, and it's done.
Yeah, this is the strength of scripting. It's just like knowing that we can put a trap down at a specific time because we know what its HP is, you know? And there's a little variance to that because of the blast ailment, right? So it's nice that the game has these powerful slingers that drop, the powerful slinger ammo, those little like red stones that you saw on the ground, because those are telling us that the HP is at, what is it, 45 and 30%, something like that?
35 and 25 for most monsters.
35 and 25. So we know if we see second pod, the monster is ready to be captured. And usually we can trank and trap the monster and then damage it while it's in the trap if we see the first pod. All right. One of my least favorite fights. Juratotus. This is Stinky Fish for a lot of different reasons. This fight is just hard sometimes. The hardest part about it is that it's in water, which means we can't put a trap down in the water. So we have to keep the monster on the edge of the arena and fight him there. Other than that, too, this fight's just like kind of hard to do cleanly. So I'm going to do my best.
It's also one of the most RNG heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty RNG heavy, too. Especially because there's like 4 attacks that it can do at the very start, and if it does, and one of them, if it does it, it just ruins the opener entirely. So we're hoping for not that. Yeah, let's just like have good RNG, please and thank you. It's also unfortunate that we have cutscene skip mod because this was some of my favorite voice acting in the game was that cutscene that we just skipped. Sad.
So good AI allows the flash to go off so we can set up a wall bang. And we can use the wall bang opening to get our switch axe gauge built up. And because we flashed the monster, it'll always do a little head shake to recover from the flash pod when it gets up from this. So that lets us fit in a little more damage than we'd normally be able to and still be able to clutch on. Now we've done enough damage, it's going to jump to the side as it enrages. This is the first point of RNG. We want a blast proc on its tail. Perfect, to get our first clagger. Good. That DSD gets us a topple. Next ZSD should get us a clagger. One more ZSD and then it'll be very close to capture ready.
And now RNG. And still. Do nothing. You dumb fish. That's just kind of like the little only point of us having zero control over the monster, and we're fighting it on the edge of the area. I call them transition zones or hallways. When monsters are in that area, their AI is telling them to not be in that area, so they will transition from one zone to another. So you'll have fights where you're like fighting it and it like yells at you, and then just immediately runs away. And you're just like, oh, cool. I was about to, capture you, but I guess not, and I'll just lose 17 seconds here for no reason because you ran to the other side of the world. This is a very fun speedrun, and everyone should do it. All right, cool. So we're coming up to the last two bites of kind of like the first partial 90% category. Up first is Tobi Kadachi. It's actually one of my favorite scripts to do, but it's honestly like one of the tighter ones, only because if you fail any part of it, damage-wise or timing-wise, you just have to abandon it entirely. But it's really cool to do, so I will always do it. Especially for Marathon. It's super cool to show off when you get it right.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, Toby's a cool monster. He's a big blue squirrel. On a quick little restock here, this is what Green was talking about, just being able to come to... Hello? Did an input there. Just being able to come to the box and quickly restock your traps, right, guys? You do that fast, right? Right? But yeah, so we always have to like be paying attention to our resources too, about like when we use things and where. So like I've been very smart to not craft that extra. Like I've been able to craft this pitfall trap for a very long time, but I don't want to do it because it actually gives me a backup shock trap on this quest, just in case.
This quest is going to be the only other point where we get to start a monster fight with a trap, because we can position a shock trap just right to allow the monster to get caught in it after the cutscene.
Shoutouts to Mr. Hugster for finding this positioning.
By
this
accident.
Hugster trap. On accident. Oh, I'm very close. All right, so if we did it right, when he jumps down here, he's going to end up in the trap. We did it right.
Good, first clagger. Now we clutch onto the head because the final explosion of the ZSD hits the head more consistently than it does the tail. Now using stealth so we can bait it and drop our two tranks and trap. And then one ZSD on the head and a trap to cap it. Beautiful.
Love that script. Love that script. So when I did that ZST finisher, there was about 1 second of that trap left. About 1 second. That's how close it is. So if you mess up the input to clutch onto the monster, or if you just didn't do enough damage, the trap ends. And then you have to use another one. So that's why it's very risky. All right, Anjanath, this is another really good example of Clagger chaining. This is probably like the best example of it, honestly. This fight's kind of hard too. It's one of those a lot of things can go wrong kind of fights. So I'm gonna hope like only a few things go wrong.
I had another question I wanted to ask you both. What is your favorite monster to hunt? I guess casually, but also if you have a speedrun one specific, then I think that's interesting too. Like, what do you find like super fun to just fight out? Can you even
Honestly,
enjoy it as a
KOs.
speedrunner?
Oh yeah, that's the trap right there. The answer is no. Yeah, like it's actually really funny. I don't know if it's a product of playing this game for 5 years or speedrunning it for 5 years, but like playing casually just like doesn't quite hit the same anymore.
Yeah.
But
sure.
also to answer that, Teostra. Teostra is just like one of my favorite fights.
Yeah.
Alatreon casually, Rathalos in the speedrun.
Ooh, okay.
You like the Rat? Oh well, he does a cool Rathalos thing. He's a gamer, and I don't do the cool Rathalos thing. All right, so Green, you speaking.
Yep. So starting out with a flash pod just to give us consistent positioning. Using a pitfall once again to get our gauge up.
Pressing on, you go away.
Speed.
Can I just do a full here?
I think
That's
so.
like all of that missed.
Yeah.
Nah, we're good. Because it missed. The CSD missed entirely. I didn't overwrite it.
Yep. So a Clagger chain here, and then this last ZSD will get a head break instead of a Clagger, which actually works out perfectly with our amp state ending. So there's the head break, morphing to get some gauge back, and then going into stealth to lure him under the rock. This is the same rock we dropped on Great Jagras, so it'll do 5% of its health and give a knockdown, which we can use to get our gauge back. There's already a pod. The monster will always roar here because he just exited stealth. There's second pod, so it is cap ready and an 8 Claggers. This is going to be the safest trap ever.
As it walks out of it. I've absolutely said this is the safest trap ever, and then the monsters just left. But that was clean, even though like that was actually really weird because I missed that first ZSD, but I did the same number of ZSDs, and it was also second pod. Missing damage is faster? Cope? Copium?
Alright, so this is the
so a little bit
last
of
bit.
RNG. I did not see one.
You got like 3.
Pelts?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blind. I guess I just can't see pelts. All right, cool. So, hey guys, remember Zora Skip? That gigantic monster that we saw at the very beginning that wrecked our ship that we're trying to get our insurance claim on. That's called Zora Madras. That's his name. We're about to find him and we're going to stop him. The commander here has a fantastic idea. We're going to capture him. That's a great idea, right, guys? We're going to capture this gigantic Elder Dragon. He hasn't played a Monster Hunter game before, so he doesn't know that Elder Dragons can't be captured. Fool. So this is kind of an auto-scroller. Actually, it's 100% an auto-scroller. We can make it go a little bit faster. And we call that Fast Zora. Unfortunately, Zora Skip doesn't exist. And we'll tell you the tale We'll tell you the absolute whimsical tale of Zora Skip here in a second. Because boy, did we try. We tried to break this game and oof, it didn't work. Oh yes, we also didn't talk about tech smashing. It's not like an interesting, or it's not like an important thing, but I do find it really interesting. We do tech smashing by holding space on a keyboard and then also mashing 2 buttons on a controller. It's just goofy. That's it. All right, so Zora Magdaros quests come in 2 phases. This is first phase, and this is where Fast Zora happens. A couple things have to happen in this quest, and so we're going to do one of them first. A one-shot binder has to be fired at the monster. This will stop Zora from moving entirely, but if we don't shoot it, the NPCs do. And when the NPCs shoot it, it lasts like 3 times as long. And for some reason, when Zora is really far away from the binder, it doesn't last nearly as long as when he's up near the wall, the barricade. So we just run up there and fire it instantly. The next thing that has to happen is Zora's going to do 2 mandatory attacks in this phase. So what we're going to do is use cannons that are on this like cliffside here to flinch him out of those attacks the moment that they start. They don't have to finish, they just have to start. And then he's like, okay, cool, on to the next. I'm getting rid of these birds because they're annoying. We don't like them here. But yeah, so now it's just a little bit of waiting. And so in the meantime, I can do a little bit of item management, inventory management. Yep, all that looks good. And we are just kind of waiting here. We're just waiting for him to get up to this cannon, and then we can fire it. But yeah, this is legitimately just like auto-scrolly time.
The second Zora fight is better, I promise.
The second Zora fight is better. The second phase of this is worse.
Yeah.
All right, I should probably get next to the cannon, huh?
Yeah, probably.
So he does a little animation here that I lovingly and endearingly call Big Steppy. He just makes a really big step. We're just trying to line up the cannon so it flinches him right after that. Perfect. And then now we go on to the next one. That kind of animations is like a little hard to see. It's like immediately after Big Step that he is that the next animation starts. And for some reason you like can't really be flinched out of it. But if you shoot the cannon too early, it just doesn't flinch him at all. And if you shoot it too late, he just moves backwards really far and it loses a lot of time. So you want him to flinch immediately after that, so he's as close to this next cannon as possible. I put on the ghillie mantle here because there's more birds and I'm scared. This next animation is a little bit easier to tell when it switches because his head will stop moving, but his beard will keep shaking. You'll see it when it happens. It's actually a super easy tell. Right there. So next we're coming over to this to get a chest break. There's that chest break, perfect. And then now we're just waiting for an animation to end here, and he's gonna do a slight little rock forward, and that rock forward is gonna save us 25 seconds. Biggest time save right there. Huge, easiest time save ever, and that's Fast Zora.
Yep, that little rock forward at the end, there's a few frame window where he's flinchable but hasn't started that animation, and if you flinch him during those few frames, he just continues the animation anyway. So for the longest time, we would just spam free fires to get the flinch as early as possible and not know why we were randomly losing 25 seconds.
And now we don't do that because we're smarter, wiser, more experienced speedrunners that definitely know all of the intricacies of this video game.
Yeah.
All right, so we're like really good on materials, aren't we? I got really good honey RNG there. I usually have like 2 or 3 honey. Oh, I have to do the equipment box too. Almost forgot.
Oh yeah. just rearranging equipment now so that when we get our second weapon, it's in a better position when we have to upgrade it.
That wasn't slow, was it? Or am I just like gaming here and
You
doing
haven't
all this
checked
really
your
fast?
monster materials yet, yeah.
Yeah, well, I usually don't anymore. So we got our 2 large bones. Yep, 3 pelts. You were right, and 3 scales. Easy peasy. And we're at 3,700. Yep, perfect. So we need 1 Anjanath pelt, which is RNG, and 2 large bones, which is also RNG. To get Camp 17 in the Ancient Forest. That'll cut out some time on the Rathalos quest and then possibly on track gathering. And then we're guaranteed to get 1 scale, but it's RNG if we get more than 1 scale. And we want more than 1 because it makes our upgrade for our defender weapon a little bit easier, but that's the next item that lets us upgrade. We're always guaranteed to get 1. You always get 1. Whether or not you get 2 is the question. All right, cool. Do you guys like waiting? There's a couple of things that need to happen for this quest to end. Most particularly, a damage gate needs to be met. The game is designed so that when you get onto the back of Zora Madros here in phase 2, you can go and attack his magma cores. Actually, let's go look at one. We got plenty of time. The game wants you to go and attack magma cores to damage Zora Madros to make sure that he can be captured at the very end of this. But we don't really want to do that. This is a magma core. We don't want to do that because if a magma core breaks, Zora Madros stops moving entirely. And we've already dealt all of the damage that we need for the damage gate. The damage gate's like 200 or 400 HP. It's nothing. We did it with the cannons. We are well past that. Nice try. Almost got me there. So now we are waiting for him to walk from where he was all the way over there to the next barrier. So this is a really great time for Green to tell the story of Zora Skip.
So the way this quest ends is Zora's gonna reach the barrier, a second monster's gonna show up, and we're just gonna have to do a little bit of damage to him, and that'll cause the quest to end. So I had the idea of, okay, I know that other monster is on the map somewhere. What if we just found him and pre-damaged him? So I reached out to a modder, and he said, okay, yeah, I'll take a look. And then he got back to me and said, okay, so first off, that monster is 8,000 units below the ground and behind about 20 layers of projectile protection, so there's no chance of hurting him. And second, even if you could find a way to hurt him, every footstep Zora takes on the way to the barrier is a flag that has to be met for this quest to end. So we just have to sit here and wait.
This is by far the worst part of the speedrun. This is also the end of the first partial any percent category. So when this game first came out, Xeno percent was like 5 hours long. We had no cutscene skip. We didn't have defender armor. There wasn't a lot of people doing this run. So there wasn't a lot of like strategy to be had. So it was really just like ad-libbing and pure skill and like patience. So we put in other categories, partial 80% categories, right here at Zora 1, the next one at Zora 2, and then the last one at Xeno'jiiva. Because they're shorter, makes it a little bit more approachable for speedrunning. Not everyone has 5 hours to do a speedrun. I know I didn't for the longest time. And so that's where Zora 1% and Zora 2% come from. This is the end of that first one. Yeah, that's the origin of those. I don't know where else I was going with that. I don't know why I thought I was going somewhere else. This thing's melting my brain. Is there a run to Fatalis? Technically, it's not a category on the leaderboard. To my knowledge, no one has done it, and I am currently preparing that. Self-plug.
Yeah, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure you follow Jal Bagel on Twitch. You can hover over his name on the Twitch title in the Games Done Quick stream. Right below the stream, the title. You just hover over it, you can press a little heart, drop a follow real quick. You don't even have to go anywhere. Take you 2 seconds. Definitely do it.
Stay right here. whole time. Yeah, we also lovingly call this fight Snoranapteros. It's a really good time to take a nap. Some other runners, older runners, like back in the day, used to take selfies during this quest. It's really fun. Really good selfie time. And I'm going to say this too. This is like an hour RTA into the speedrun. Don't look at the timer. This is about an hour RTA into the speedrun. And it's also like a really good time if you haven't been skipping cutscenes, like go up, get a bathroom break and stuff like that. And that's one of like the major things that I like about how we do this speedrun now, is because we measure everything on IGT for the leaderboard. And so the auto splitter, at least for PC, pauses during cutscenes. So there's a couple of like minute-long, 2-minute-long cutscenes where you can like get up, go use the restroom really quick, come back, or like go up, get a snack, get a drink, stand up for a second. It's actually super comfy as far as like, you know, health and like taking care of yourself and stuff like that. It's already baked into the speedrun, man. You don't have to, you know, like skip every cutscene as fast as humanly possible. You get to kind of relax a little bit. It's nice. Very, very nice. I swear it's almost done. There's only like 60 seconds left of him walking. This thing is so slow.
He's going as fast as he can. It's fine.
He's doing his best. Oh, we even talked about this. Green and I talked about this. He goes, okay, what about for marathon submissions? We use Cheat Engine to increase the speed of this section by 10 times. And I was like, oh, come on, man. That's going to look so goofy.
But it's
we did think about it. Of course it's worth it. No, what? And then you don't get to stand on the back of Zora Madros like this? Crazy talk. This was the best time. This was quality time with chat. I appreciate you guys being here. All right, it's finally happened. He made it. And what's also really funny is that if you don't meet the damage gate and you get here, he doesn't stand up. So you'll know immediately. So we're gonna do a little strategy that I call Nergigante Quick Kill. Don't worry about it. Did y'all see that wall? This is a great game. We're gonna do Nergigante Quick Kill. Essentially, we're gonna put on the Skilly Mantle to enter stealth, and we're gonna fall onto Zora's neck here. That's gonna warp us to his back, and we're gonna find this little rock right here to put bombs down on. Nergigante is going to spawn right on top of those bombs. So we are going to let him land, dodge his roar, place 2 bombs, draw our weapon, Nergi Quick Kill. 1, 2. Did I clip him still? Alright. The fabled Zora 1 Hornbreak? Nope. One day I'll get it. This is a really good time to pause too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, whenever it makes sense for you.
You can just do it right here.
Okay, all right. 3, 2, 1, pause. So yeah,
I completely forgot about that. I wanted to just do it right here on a reward screen.
All good. Yeah, so here at Hotfix, we like to take breaks about every hour, just give everyone a chance to stretch and get some water, do what you got to do. So we're going to go to a quick break here. Again, the run's not over. Still plenty of run left. A lot of run left, actually. So if you're excited for more monster hunting goodness, don't go anywhere. Before we go to that break, I just wanted to say that GDQX will be live from TwitchCon October 20th through 22nd. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage as well as streamed live on our Twitch channel right here where you are right now. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the schedule. And yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. We are in the middle of a Monster Hunter World Xeno% speedrun by the one and only Jal Bagel. Before we get right back into the run, I just wanted to let everyone know that Awesome Games Done Quick 2024, our next mainline event, will be live in person January 14th through the 21st in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Use !AGDQ in Twitch chat for more info. Feel free to @GamesDoneQuick on Twitter to let us know what you're hoping to see on the games list. Maybe you want to see Monster Hunter World on the list. Go ahead and tweet them. Remote volunteer applications are open now, and they actually close midnight tonight, midnight Pacific, October 3rd to today. So make sure you, if you're interested in that, to apply at gamesdonequick.com. And Jal, why don't you go ahead and count us back into the run?
All right, counting us back in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so like I said, we have finished our first partial any percent category. Not quite into high rank yet. We're still in the low rank portion. So we will be moving into the second half of low rank. This section of the speedrun is called a colossal task, or Zora 2. And it is probably like one of the harder, more execution-based sections of the game. All of these fights are very tight scripts, mostly because we're going to be switching from Switch Axe to Sword and Shield, the bread and butter itself. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Sword and Shield, you're about to know a lot about it because we use a lot of its mechanics in this speedrun. Most notably, its kind of strongest, highest DPS attack, Perfect Rush. And Perfect Rush is an incredibly versatile attack. It has really high damage. It has a variable timing. We can either slow it down or speed it up. We can do it really, really fast to, get in a really tight window, or we can do it really, really slow and kind of draw out the window that we have. But it makes it really good for kind of responding to claggers, right? And also to like knockdowns and stuff like that. And you're going to see that. I mean, every time that we pick it up, we're going to be doing fights. We're going to be doing scripts specifically so we are landing PRs at the end of control, because we don't want to deal damage during that control. It won't start the next like knockdown or clagger or anything like that. So this is the Great Ravine. This is where we just fought Zora Madros, but he opened up a new passage, and so we're going to go and check that out, and it's going to be taking us into the next area, which is one of my favorite areas aesthetically. And you really get to see it right now because I'm going to skip this cutscene. Oh no, boo! We can't see the cinematics. Like I said, 1 hour and 3 minutes just saved instantaneously. The best money ever spent was commissioning that mod. But next, we are going to go on to an expedition to the Coral Highlands. And we have to do 2 things here. We have to spot a ZTYaku. We don't have to fight it. And we have to unlock a camp. So we're going to be blitzing through this area pretty quick. Just double checking I have all the things I need crafted, and I do. Green, I don't know if there's anything else that we really want to talk about in this section.
Not really. Like, I guess the biggest difference between Sword and Shield scripting and Switch Axe scripting is Switch Axe, we want back-to-back claggers. Sword and Shield, we always want to alternate a clagger with another form of control. Because Sword and Shield can't actually consistently fit in a full Perfect Rush or PR on a clagger. So we'll typically get our clagger from a PR, and we'll use the clagger to either KO the monster or use a pitfall trap. And then after that form of control ends, we'll get back into another clagger. So the mindset's going to get a little different here.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to change. It's definitely not going to be clagger chaining anymore, but it is going to be kind of this back and forth between a clagger and another form of control, whether it be a knockdown or a flinch or even a KO, like a knockout. Sword and Shield actually has that ability where Switch Axe only has slashing damage. Sword and Shield has both slashing and bludgeoning. Fatalis is better. Absolutely, Fatalis is better. Fatalis, you can fight solo. All right, cool. And so now once we unlock this camp, we can leave. And our first fight here is going to be Paolumu. And it's actually another Hugster contribution to the speedrun. It's a very fun script to do, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pay attention to upgrading here. Give me one moment. It's got a little bit of kind of awkward menuing to do. It'll be good to go. So this is the research base. Actually, Green, tell the people why the research base is awesome.
Oh, yeah. So the research base has 99% of the vendors that Astera has, but it's about 1/10 of the size. So anytime we need to do anything, we're going to come here instead. Everything's just so much closer together. It saves so much time. Even
things as simple as go and talk to the handler. We'll just fast travel here to do it.
Yep. Even before we removed loads, fast traveling to the research base was faster than walking to the handler in Astera. It was insane.
Which is why it's still a RTA strat.
Yep.
All right, so once again, the convenience of this speedrun, I'm going to talk about this a lot. We need thunderbugs. Like, we need so many thunderbugs. I've already gathered 2 in this area. There's 1, 2, 3 in this area, and we pass it 3 times in the route. And it's just, it's there. This is the only way to go. There is no other direction to go. It's just free. It's right here. It's like they thought about it. I swear they did, too. Do not attack me. Good, they didn't. Let's go. When monsters are fighting you, you use more stamina. And just like Souls games and stuff like that, when you run out of stamina, you stand still. Not great. All right. Hug Lumu. We did it.
So this fight
I'll let you
is
talk
our,
about the rest of it.
Yeah, this is our first use of a tenderize. This claw uppercut attack does half of a tenderize every time you hit it. So the Palu's head will now take more damage.
I'm just going to have to ad-lib this now as I missed that.
Yeah.
Give me a KO. Nice. Why was that not charged? I can still do this, and I'll just wait for second pod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm absolutely going to wait for second pod.
Yeah, unfortunately, the head being in the wall does mean we're not going to be able to deal as much damage here, but...
Ooh, a little early on that, too. So, yeah, I have to... I missed that first claw uppercut, unfortunately. So it does kind of ruin what I'm trying to do. What is happening to you? Where'd you go all the way over there? Just flash you? Alright, well, I can't use another one now. Anyways, this game's awesome. At least it landed. So this is what we were talking about, casual play versus ad-lib. Oh my, or like ad-libbing versus scripting. This is why we script. This is actually a perfect example of why we script. Please note that it has done the same run directly at me attack 4 times. I say 4, I meant 5. Oh my gosh. There's no shot. There's no way. Anyways, I'm a professional speedrunner, and I do this often. Where are you going?
Make sure to grab your
What
sleep herbs before you follow.
Yup, you are absolutely right. Huh. So yeah, his attacks have like wind pressure on them, and then he can just immediately follow up with just running directly at you. You know, this is great. I'm really happy that this is going as well as it is.
I think chat's enjoying it, so it's all good.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
It'd be boring if
I'm
everything
enjoying
went
it.
according to plan, so.
Honestly, though, kind of.
Yeah.
The hunt would have already been over.
Yeah.
We'd actually be almost done with the next hunt by now. Which is insane to think about.
Yeah, I can see how it can just be so incredibly punishing for any of these fights. Just go even just a smidge off the rails, right? Like just ridiculous how bad it can get out of how out of hand it can get in such a short amount of time.
He just does not want to be on the ground. how and why are you the way you are, Paolumu? That was a wing. Okay. I just need to see odds and we'll be okay. Flash it! Oh my gosh. I hate this creature. Thank you.
Friendly
right.
assist.
So its AI will always make it flash there, and it's very annoying because it'll just do it like in the middle of you fighting it. If you guys like ad-lib fighting, hey, come watch longer speedruns of this game. They're awesome and full of... No, don't you do it! Come here. Please. Don't jump in the air. Thank you.
There we go.
Everything's fine.
So what were you saying about ad-lib fighting?
Yeah, ad-lib fighting is super good and a lot of fun. And if you like watching it, hey, master rank speedruns do exist. And they are all ad-lib fighting. There's openers and that's it. All right, well, at least we get extra flashes out of it. We take those. All right, I didn't need anything there. Radabon. Radabon is just as hard, but we'll do fine. The only hard part about this is like, so a lot of the hard parts about scripting with SNS is claw uppercuts. Claw uppercuts can be difficult to aim. What happened even on that Paolumu was I did a left input very slightly as I did it, and it sent me very far left. So they can be like really finicky. So you really have to be accurate with them. A lot of SNS is just like play well. Like you just have to play well. So this claw uppercut's kind of hard to hit too. And I got it. Let's go.
So claw uppercut got the
Green,
first
you
half
can
of the
talk about this one.
tenderize. Now he's going to clutch on, do a manual attack to get the second half, and drop a thorn pod that he'll use for a KO. Now this is one of the few Claggers we can fit a full PR on, because Radabon will always roar after this. Now we can use this Clagger with the Thorn Pods to get a KO. There's first pod and a Clagger. So we can trank and trap.
I don't really have any extra resources here, so I'm playing it safe by extending that Clagger. It was a hit away, but you got to play it safe. Extend that Clagger. Make sure you get the maximum duration, and there was a ledge there to fit in, you know, your tranks and traps, because he can just walk away like while you're doing all that stuff. There's nothing stopping it other than extending the duration of that Clagger. All right, good. I'm glad that went as well as it did. Like that's more or less perfect. And so once again, the convenience of the route. I really need parashrooms. I have maximum sleep herbs, but I don't have any parashrooms. Well, good thing that there are literally 12 pickups along this route, because we have to come down here. This is an expedition. We have to come down here to look at this great Euros. And now we can leave. All right. What's next, Legiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, Legiana is arguably the hardest execution-wise. And I did really well in that Paolumu.
Legiana doesn't have any claw uppercuts, though.
True, yeah, and that's my weak spot. But Legiana is interesting because it actually doesn't start with a cutscene like most of these other fights have been doing. Instead, we just watch this cutscene, and then now we're going to go into the quest. But it's still nice because it still has a static spawn. and static health, all that stuff. It's the first time we're doing this assigned mission. It's on a cycle. So we have some time to do some like item gathering and item management while we run there, and we can like eat a meal to get an attack boost, and we can grab extra resources. It's very convenient. Need that. Legion is also like super susceptible to poison, so we're gonna grab a poison knife here and some free flash bombs, because those are a very, tight resource. I want to make sure we have as many flashes as we want. They do really help with getting scripts back. You saw I tried to use one on Lumu because I know I have a couple extras, but not a lot extra. I just remembered I wasn't doing this too. I can do it right now. I only want one of these poison knives. It's faster to use it. And then the character will just automatically load the other slinger ammo back in. It makes this opener possible. 1 and 2. All right, cool. Just double checking that I have everything here, because we need to use a pitfall and a shock trap here. And then we're going to eat a might seed when we get up here. The might seed and the demon powders, those things that I've been using, they're attack buffs. We really didn't talk about this. They're attack buffs that last 3 minutes. They stack with each other, and they only last 3 minutes, but most of our hunts are only going to last a minute, right? So we can use them pretty much at the beginning of the quest and just run into the fights with them active. All right, good timing here.
So Legion is locked into this AI, which lets us get this first wallbang off safely.
No poison. Kelby was standing on top of me.
Grab rocks, get some KO, set up for a second wallbang. No flight RNG is good. Now intentionally landing this PR early so that he can be off and dodge this roar. And get a mount.
Ooh, it was already in
immediately
here.
jump off, flash it, which gives us an opening for a second PR. Into a KO. Now this next PR will get a Clagger. That we can then grab and pitfall. And place Tranks.
Too early.
And now a flash and a shock should have it very close to capture ready.
I love this game. Did I miss one of these? I had to have.
You didn't have the poison.
Okay. That used to work without the poison. Man, this has been a great run. Are you joking? We're going on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Man, this was really, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I should just never give estimates for marathons. Man, you were really like, too. You're like 240. That's marathon safe. I'm like, yeah, that's what I submitted to GDQ. It should be fine.
It happens, dude. Sometimes things just happen.
I don't think I've ever had this happen.
It's fine if things go a little out of hand. We're totally fine.
Woo! It's been something.
I'm so sleepy.
Sir, why would you clagger? I don't have the resources to cap this thing anymore, so. What are you doing? And now we wait here for a minute. I want you all to know, I would have reset a very long time ago to this. but we're having a good time. Yeah, okay, so it really was just the poison. I'm really surprised because I used to not poison and that still fit. I'm very shocked.
You used to not poison and cap it on the first shock trap. Tranks probably ran out by the second because you placed your tranks during the pitfall.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Trying to brain some things here. I used one extra trank, so we're okay on that at least. That was interesting. I wanted that. Trying to brain a couple things here. I guess I could have gotten that. Well, we'll get backups on Rathian tracks. Actually, I'll have to.
Yep. And you can grab the extra Thunderbug on the way to Rathalos.
Yeah. I mean, I have to. It's not a backup anymore. Ooh, grabbing that. That was 6 flash bugs. Thank you.
Mm.
I feel like I'm gonna need that. All right, where are we? Odegarin. Oh, nothing can go wrong on Odegarin.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only one we don't have a script for.
Yeah.
Oh! I have to do this in the tent. Okay, that's
Yes.
fine. I can do this in the tent. This is actually probably faster, huh?
Then the item box? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
So quick restock, then eating. And then we're going to take a little bit of a weird route to the cutscene. Funny enough, it's only about 5 seconds shorter because it does skip an interaction with the handler, or 5 seconds slower. But it does get us some more flash pods, which are absolutely worth losing some time for.
And I already have an extra 6,
Mm-hmm.
and we're definitely gonna need them. Actually, I'm only gonna grab the 2 here because I mean that's plenty. I'm gonna do a manual restock or a full restock here in a second, anyways. So we only need those 2. We'll hover that.
Some cool little movement tech here. There's 2 ledges. One is just high enough to use a Might Seed in the air, and the second is just high enough to use your Ghillie Mantle in the air, so you don't have to use them on the ground and get slowed down.
Double checking everything, making sure that I'm not forgetting anything, and I think I'm good.
Yep. So now we have the Ghillie Mantle on. We're going to shoot a rock at the ground to lock him into Stealth AI and start off with a wallbang.
Why did it send me this way? Do a slow PR here. Tiger, thank you.
Good.
Sick.
So the 3 hits we did for the wallbang got the first half of the Tenderize. Now this manual attack gets the second half of the Tenderize and drops a piercing pod. It's when used with a weapon attack, this is basically just a shotgun. So we're going to be using it a lot in this fight.
I was not in a position to back off that.
Mm-hmm.
Watch my health here.
All right, there's the first pod.
Nice.
And nice.
Getting bled there is a little scary, but it's fine. Got to grab this spiderweb here and another Might Seed. Just got to make sure we stay up on our power items. Okay, cool. So the next section of the game, we have to do a little bit of exploring, adventuring. We got to go and find the ancient Wyverians in the ancient forest. They're going to tell us to go hunt to Apexis, Diablos, and Rathalos. So this is just some fun like little movement here real quick. Yeah, Green, can you explain the cap versus kill again real quick?
Yeah. So capturing a monster is always faster because first off, the monster only has to be at 30% health remaining instead of 0% health remaining. And more importantly, it cuts down your end of quest timer from 60 seconds down to 20. So at minimum, it saves 40 seconds.
All right, so we're taking an Uber up to the top of the tree real quick. We got to get all the way up to the top. It's actually the fastest way to get there. Gotta hitch a ride in a wing drake.
Yeah.
Favorite mechanic in this entire game. I love this.
Mm-hmm. So there's 2 thunderbugs up here, right? We just normally only grab one.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should grab that other one, huh?
The other one.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. There's also another one around the corner over there. That's like the backup Thunderbug, huh?
Yeah.
Well, now that I know about it. Because there's also the one on Coral Highlands Expedition that I don't grab anymore.
True.
But noted. Cheeky little claw uppercut there. Just a little movement during a section that you can't normally move during. All right. So what's really goofy about this is that we could actually hunt the Rathalos in this mission, but it's actually faster to leave here and start up its quest because it's flying around in the air right now, and it has like 3 different patterns that it can do, and they all lose time.
One of them saves about 5 seconds, but the other 2 lose 30 or more, so it's not worth.
Yeah, it's like literally never worth. All right, cool. So before we go on this quest 2, we're going to unlock Camp 17 because we're going to use that for Rathalos. And off we go. So the Diablo's quest is kind of unique. It, out of the cutscene, it has a couple different ways that it can start. Most ideally, he runs directly at us. If he does that, he gets stuck in the wall behind us, and then that gives us our opener. If he doesn't do that, we just got to ad-lib. But once we get the lock going, we can usually keep it. It's a little dependent on his movement AI. There's a little bit of RNG associated with that. So this fight's a little bit of a tug-of-war, but it should be fine. As long as we get that like nice opener. And now that I said it, we're definitely not going to get it. It'll be great if he just digs instantaneously. Yeah, I'm on Screamers. All right, we're good. Let's go.
All right. So getting a tenderize off on the leg. Our main strategy for this fight is just going to be focus this right leg.
Didn't get it again. So weird.
The goal is just to chain these leg topples. It is a bit RNG dependent depending on how Diablos moves when he stands up.
Like that.
Like that, yeah.
Putting his head inside my PR. Oh. No! I have to chain it off the other leg. Tiger? All right, that's good. We can at least get around the other side.
Very good AI. Get the topple back.
Keep doing that, man. Just keep that up. You're doing great. He read the script. He's doing it.
Paid actor.
Absolutely hired actor after this. Please. Oh, actually, this is fine.
Oh, yeah.
This is, like, actually free. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna get it. My heart sank. I keep forgetting that I have like 0 extra resources here. I have negative resources right now.
You
At least
have
it feels like.
1 backup shock and 1 backup trank.
That's all we'll need. Which really the 1 backup trank doesn't even count because that doesn't get us an extra trap. All right. Oh, hey, it's still sub 3. That feels good.
That's very nice.
Yeah. We take those. All right. Rathalos. My controller just disconnected. Please hold. Shout out to Sony. I moved my hands a little too excitedly. All right. Green.
Hi.
Explain this one because I don't understand it. I just know how to do it.
Okay, so Rathalos, his nest happens to have a waterfall in it. So we're going to start the fight out by triggering the waterfall and making him fall down a cliff. It's an environmental trap just like the boulder, so it's going to be 5% of his health. More importantly, as far as I know, this is the longest knockdown in the entire game. So we're going to be able to fit 5 PRs in on his head. Once that happens, it gets a little scary because the area that we're dropping him into is a transition zone. So if he's ever not under the effect of a flash pod, he's going to try to leave, and we do not want that.
Oh, sick. I did a guard slash. Rushing the first couple of hits to get back in the timing. I think I'm good.
Yep.
Stop me from rushing them. Is this 5?
This is 5.
Easy! Not even worried.
Nice. So now we grab the Clagger and get a PR1 in here, and then we're going to have to flash him. Now we're going to go for a KO. Nice. This is a PR opening. We did get good RNG. That blue squirrel from earlier can show up here and mess everything up, but doesn't look like he's here.
Yes, it is.
Never mind.
Literally behind me. Oh.
Yep, there's
Sorry
first
for it.
pod.
I've already started.
Yep.
Why did you turn? Okay. So we got squirrel.
Thank you, Blue Squirrel.
I have 1 extra trank. We didn't need it. Let's go.
Nice.
Okay, so that was my extra trap.
Mhm.
So glad we used it there. Crap, are there any extras
Make
left?
it to the Ivy. Right here. Oh.
I need this.
Oh, yeah.
We have no extra anything. All right. Thunderbugs in Wildspire, don't I? None.
There aren't.
Oh. We're fine. We won't need it.
Yeah.
Still 230. I really like how you willed that Toby Kadachi into existence. That was really cool.
I
Remember when you said, okay, Toby's not here, and he just like savanted himself into it? That was super cool.
don't even. He's not. He's supposed to either show up way earlier or way later. I don't know what happened.
Out of my runs.
You heard it
We're
was
getting all the bad
GDQ
juju
run.
out now. Yeah, it is absolutely, yeah. It was a marathon run. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I get banned from Hotfix because speedrun too long.
No, you're fine.
I know.
The only thing I'll get banned is Toby Kadachi. So
Yeah, please.
Good, please.
Yeah, get rid of him. It's the worst, hardest monster.
The Rathalos script executed perfectly. Rathalos doesn't get to move, but if Toby Kadachi shows up, he just ruins it all.
Yeah. It's a you can play perfectly, and then the game's just like, what if? Hey, remember Zora Madros? You guys really liked that part, didn't you?
I did.
This one's
Do
good
it
though.
Again. Woo, just do it again. So a quick little restock there. We got an item called the Power Charm. Power Charm is just an item that sits in our inventory, and it gives us a passive increase to our attack. So now we're stronger. Woohoo! And then we restocked on tranks and traps and bombs there, and we're gonna go into the Zora Madros 2 fight. So unlike Zora 1, Zora 2, we actually need to deal damage to him, and not just like cannons or whatever. No, we're gonna attack every single magma core here. But we're gonna we've scripted out the damage. We've calculated everything out perfectly, so we don't break them. We deal enough damage to them to get as much as we can get out of each magma core, but then we don't break them. During this fight too, we have these different stalagmites and stalactites, just these big rocks to drop on Zora at specific times. So we're going to use that to kind of interrupt certain AI, or we're going to drop it during other animations that can't be interrupted. So every time that we come up to a magma core, it's going to explode. That was a bad explosion. That was a big explosion. And then we're going to fit in some PRs. I need to fit in 3 on this first one. But all of this is just timing. We're on a cycle right now.
One thing I wanted to ask, because people might be coming in, mid-run. What is
Yeah.
the reason? So earlier, for those who weren't here, you were using the switch axe, but now you're using the sword shield. So what is the reasoning for using this in the speedrun?
So Sword and Shield, just particularly the Perfect Rush attack, not only does an insane amount of damage, it's highly variable for a lot of our fights that we're able to fit PR in like awkward openings. Mainly for this fight, though, I'm gonna let Green explain that, because we actually try to line up the weapon routing so we have Sword and Shield for this fight. Yeah, Green, you know a lot about this,
Yeah.
so I'll let you talk about it.
So yeah, like Bagel said, in general, Sword and Shield is just a better matchup for all of the last 8 fights than Switch Axe is. But this fight specifically, Zora's magma cores don't have a static health. They count as a body part. And different weapon attacks will do different modifiers of part break damage. So like the final hit of Perfect Rush actually does more than double damage in terms of breaking apart. But the rest of PR actually does only 30% part break. So we can deal 3 times the amount of damage to Zora without breaking his cores. So Sword and Shield is actually I believe it's 10 or 15 seconds faster than the next closest weapon on Zora too.
I think it's Charge Blade.
Yes.
Because I know Switch Axe's part break values are insanely high.
Yeah, Switch Axe doesn't have anything below 1.0.
Yeah, so it's just dealing 100% part break every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting for an audio cue here. We're going to actually shoot this rock a little bit beforehand, and that's going to interrupt a attack that Zora is doing. That would, if he gets it off, would make all the magma cores stronger, deal more damage. more explosions. It's awful. But audio cue happened, the text line happened, and the rock hit, so we don't have to worry about it. Easiest thing to interrupt. We're gonna drop 2 more stalactites up here, mainly because Zora's gonna be standing up and he's gonna get hit with another one-shot binder. It's gonna stop his movement, and this is actually scripted by the NPCs. But while he's standing up, he can't be damaged, or he can't be flinched out of it. So you know, we'll shoot that while he's moving around. He can't be flinched out of it, and we just get to deal extra damage. And then Nergigante is going to show up again. This Nergigante is very, very important for us in the speedrun because we need to break its horn. The next section of the game, we are going to have the mandatory track gathering section, and during that, we have to gather tracks for Nergigante. If we break Nergi's horn, we can cut out an entire visit for him. Instead of doing 2 visits, we just do 1. And so this horn break's actually pretty easy to do. I'm just gonna let it speak for itself. Especially later in the game, we're gonna spend a little less time talking about the scripts and a little more time doing them. Especially because they get a little bit harder for me, and just like quiet time is pretty good. So bombs on the ground. And now we're waiting for Nergi to spawn. This is easy to mess up. A lot of things in the speedrun are easy to mess up. But this is pretty free. Flinch gives us this opening to wallbang. We'll wallbang, and Zora already used a little magma explosion, so all we gotta do is just claw uppercut here, and we're gonna get a Thorn Pod from that. Thorn Pods deal KO damage. That's what we used on Radabon. So once we drop that, we're just waiting for the next little bit of AI here. Ooh, why am I back here? This KO?
Yeah.
Oh, I already broke both horns.
Yeah.
Huh. Gaming. We only want 1 horn. Getting both is just gamer moment.
Yeah.
This poor creature.
Hitting both provides no benefit for some reason.
All right, later. We're good now. So earlier we attacked a breakable rock and it didn't break yet. We're actually going to go back to it right now and continue to punish it. It can be broken, but for some reason, when Zora's standing like this, it doesn't break. This is Rock Friend. Our very good friend, GJG98, former Hat in Time speedrunner, found this rock during casual play once and was like, hey, can you exploit this for damage in Zora 2? And I was like, I don't know, let's find out. The answer is yes. Like Green said, these things don't have health. They just have like a heartbreak threshold. And while Zora is standing, it just doesn't break. So we can just lay into it.
This one is... These little breakable rocks are weird. From what I understand, they aren't affected by part break, but this one just stays locked at 1 HP while Zora is standing.
But Zora is still taking all of that other damage.
Yes.
Like, the part gets locked at 1 HP, but Zora gets hurted.
Yep.
Ryukin, best attack in the game. Get it explode again, or what are we doing?
No.
Yeah. Dang it! Hey, just do 1 more. Getting trolled now. Because I already started one, I don't want to start another one. It might break it. And we do not want to break it. Ooh. Fine. All right, so this is the last core. We're actually going to try to break this one. We probably won't break it. But this one can be broken at the very end, right before we get sent to phase 2. All right, good. It's like actually exploding again. And I have enough health for another claw uppercut. famous last words. Claw Uppercut gives me super armor, but I still take damage. Ow. It's fine. It just means I get to stay right here and deal damage. Alright, good. Alright, so now we're in phase 2. So ideally here we shoot 3 cannons and the quest ends. That's going to be kind of dependent on the amount of damage that I dealt in the back. We're a little short, but I think we're going to be okay. Even if it's 4 cannons, like, we'll be perfectly fine. But we're going to shoot 2 of them early because he's in an animation that can't be flinched yet. The final ending condition to this fight, in addition to his health gate, which we haven't met yet, is the barrier health appearing underneath the quest info on the top right-hand side. So obviously that appears when Zora gets to the barrier, and if Zora's not at the barrier, if he's getting flinched and being slowed down, obviously it's slower. But we get to shoot those 2 cannons a little bit early. He doesn't flinch, and then we can just continue setting them up. And what's nice is too is that the NPCs here are gonna load them while we're loading this one and moving around and stuff. Very convenient. Whoa. So right before we end this too, he's going to get to the barrier and we're going to release the Dragonator. Where's my Dragonator? A key. 24 damage, 2 more cannons, and that should end it. There's 1. Yep, there's 2. And 1 for good measure. Yes, let's make that. Let's make those. Be good. Now we're just waiting for the quest to end. There we go. Fast close. Sub 10. That feels good.
Yeah.
So the commendation that we get from this quest is actually another upgrade material. And RNG, it's like a 1 in 100 chance of getting 2 there. I'm not sure really what the chance is, but you can get 2 and it saves like 2 seconds.
It is 1%.
A little more.
And
Yeah, so 1 in 100.
technically allows for a route that saves like 20 seconds, but you can't route
Now,
around a
hold
1%
on.
chance.
Now, hold on. We can. You're telling me we can be saving a 1% RNG 20 seconds?
Yeah, because Sword and Shield saves 10 seconds over Switch Axe on both HR Pookie and HR Pinkian, but the fight in between those two you need Switch Axe for.
Free world record right there. Oh, actually, after this quest, I meant to do a break after that one, but after this quest, we can do a break, Etchy.
Yeah. We're timer's like 1:49 right now, so you got time. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, because we just started the high rank section, and so then the last little bit is just like boss rush.
Maybe after
What do you think,
tracks?
Green? What's that?
Do the break after Elder Tracks?
After Elder Tracks, you think? Is that like 40 minutes?
Elder
Give or take?
Tracks? Yeah.
Yeah, because Elder Tracks would be 2 hours RTA. Yeah, so we can do it after Elder Tracks. That works. All right, we're going to lure that idiot over. So we have to hunt a Pookie here, and while we're here, we're actually going to start track gathering. We had mentioned a couple times that we have to gather tracks. The game's going to force us, and we have begun. I had to practice this one today, too, and I didn't.
I always forget this fight exists, and then I get to it in a run and lose 10 seconds.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah. So we're actually intentionally ending our ZSD early here to allow him to do this eating animation. It gets him a bit closer to where we need to be when the quest ends, and is just a nice opening for a ZSD.
Good AI? Nope. I am definition of a gamer. All right, we have to ad lib here a little bit just because we didn't get a clagger. 3, there we go. Okay, good. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, we're good. I thought he was going to back hop out of it, but we're fine. Everything's fine.
I thought you were
panic.
going to cut his tail with that piercing pod.
Nah, it's fine. Hadn't touched his tail yet. We were okay. Oh, pick that up. All right. So we have begun track gathering. Let's talk a little bit about track gathering. There are 4 monsters that we have to gather tracks for, not including Nergigante. Did I get a... I didn't see a poison sac there. I have to get the Sag poison weapon. There are 4 monsters that we have to gather tracks for. Tracks can spawn in one of 3 patterns. So in total, there are 12 track patterns that we have to memorize throughout this entire speedrun. So at the very beginning of each of these quests, we're going to be looking to like see, you know, which pattern we're on. They 100% shadow patched that out. I haven't gotten it in 5 runs. There's like a 1 frame, 1 second time save menu buffer right there. Never get it. Never get it anymore. They patched it out. Okay, that's right. I already watched that. So immediately coming out here, I know we're on pattern 1 or 2. And I'm going to be looking for opportunities also to gather extra materials. Pattern 1. I'm going to bank on the fact of getting a pattern 2 on the next one.
You might only need sleep herbs here, actually.
I'm short of parashroom.
Yeah.
Say that every time. I'm always short of parashroom. Can we eat this, please? Thank you. 1, 2. You guys like counting? Anyone good at that?
Yeah.
3, 4. We need 30 points. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna get 20 on this pattern. And that means we only need 10 more on the next. And then between what we gathered during Pookie Pookie and hunting the next monster, we will finish the question mark Rathian investigation.
Someone in chat asked why you switched back to the switch axe for this recent section.
Because all of these monsters can be clagger chained. Grab it. So we can pretty much use ZSD to really trivialize these fights. With the exception of like Pink Rathian, the last monster of this section before we switch back to SNS. Switch axe is probably just like the safer, easier option. But Green, you actually use SNS for... Don't you use SNS for both Pinky and or excuse me, for Pookie and Anjanath?
I want to. I'm not good enough at the Anjanath script to do it.
But it is doable. It is possible because world record right now uses SNS all the way through.
Yeah,
gotcha. But switch axe is kind of like the copium fast strat. It's a few seconds slower, but a few seconds slower over a couple different fights, right? So it's all time that adds up.
Yeah.
1 or 2, 2. Hog. 21. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I've been doing these tracks, 27, for 3 years, and I still count them because I still mess them up. The run is safe now. Then 1, 2, being very careful not to abandon quests there. If we abandon, we have to do that all over again. Kind of like that Kulu Yaku earlier. Don't worry about it. That didn't happen. It's a figment of your imagination. That was a different run. All right, so up next is high rank Anjanath. A lot like low rank Anjanath, we are going to clagger chain it. So this is the reason why we use this here. But you'll see exactly why we switch back to switch axe here in a second. Most of the time, the answer to that question is it's easier. Or it's faster, right? Like that's like the speedrun meme, right? Like it's because it's faster, right? But in this case, it's mostly because it's easier. A lot more consistent.
And for this one fight, it is also faster.
Good, right? Yeah, we got everything we need. So we're going to be abusing stealth AI here again. If we start this fight in stealth, we can actually use Clagger chaining to keep the monster in stealth the entire time. What this allows us to do, like what this allows is Anjanath will do the exact same thing after every single ZSD, which is try to back up. If he isn't in stealth, he will, his next attack is a little random, and that can affect how our ZSD finisher ends, and that can introduce a lot of RNG into the script. All right, so full finisher here.
Yep.
And pray I don't mess this up.
Nice. Now using a flash because our gauge is about to run out, and we can put down a pitfall. And get the gauge back. And because he was just flashed, he's always going to do a head flail when he gets out of this pitfall, which makes this ZSD completely safe and not AI dependent. There's 2 pods. We can flash and cap.
Beautiful.
Nice.
That was like textbook. That feels good. That is hard.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we'll finish Pinkian, and then we'll finish Tracks, and we'll leave the kind of like last like boss rush for after the second break.
Sounds good to me.
Wow, 212. That's really good. Yeah, so next is Pink Rathian. Hey, Green. What do we need to know about Pink Rathian?
This fight sucks.
This fight's hard.
Script, if you get a blast proc at the wrong time, which is complete RNG, your script just breaks. If you get weird flight AI, your script breaks. And this monster has one of the most annoying movesets in the game.
There's an animation that on frame 1, the hitbox starts. It's called Runnies, and it's awful.
Dodging the roar, going into stealth immediately to set up a wallbang. Wallbang lands us right next to some pods we can use to tenderize and then set up a second wallbang.
I buffered that. Let's hope this hits. Let's go, Pog. We already lost it. All right, well, we're going down here now.
Okay. That is fine. This is where we wanted her eventually anyway.
Yeah, I just want to be able to flash her down here. So, all right, well, we have to ad-lib this now, unfortunately. That clutch claw onto the head, getting me onto the wrong side. I buffered that that claw attack, so it just pushed her the wrong direction, unfortunately. Gonna have to play a little safe here, because this monster is one of the first ones that can, like, murder us real good. What's really funny is that she's not giving, like, any backflip AI, which is hilarious, because that's all she likes to do. Runnies. Not getting hit by runnies. It's super important. Oh, look at that. Backflip the moment I buffered an attack. I was at full health, or near it. That just one-shot me.
You got hit by a big fireball earlier, so you were like at half.
I got a Divine Blessing proc. I was only missing like 10% because I double-checked twice. Only a max potion would have saved me from that, not dying. Hey, man. It's the theme of the run. The things that I say aren't going to happen, happen. I have the gift of foresight today. Or I guess the opposite. Let's see what we can do here. I still have a pitfall. I could pitfall. Just do I have enough time to build up a ZSD before? Oh, hey, look, she's flying. That's perfect. What's really funny is that after this, the game gets easy again.
Nice.
Elder Dragons are pretty manageable in comparison. You're gonna run all the way over there. Put this right underneath your feet. Do nothing, do nothing. Perfect. Oh. All right, no, we just need to find first pod, and then we'll be good. 2. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me again. Please send help. He's doing that call an ambulance meme on me. Where is your first pod? You're making me so sus right now. Look at these hitboxes, man. Oh! My soul just left my body.
Oh my gosh.
My soul just left my body.
How did you not get hit by that?
Don't worry about it. Double team. I don't know, man. I used evasion.
If the ground
my gosh,
behind
first pod.
you was slanted at all, you
Yeah.
died there.
Oh, wow.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. High frame.
Whew.
That one's actually 100% free, which is really cool. All right, just give me the last pod, please. Dude. Not like this. Anything but this. Oh my gosh.
You know what? At least we didn't die.
At least we didn't die again, and then it transitioned, because then we'd be a minute further away, but oh my gosh, man. Is there anything I have to pick up after this? Just shock, or just flashes, which I have a billion. All right, at least this one doesn't go all the way up to the top of the tree. That's flying transitions, which are super cool. Because if they're under 20% health, they just do that. Also, this area is really cool. Ken, you don't? Where'd you go? Did you go down? All right, stand still. Thank you. Shock trap. Thank you. Be captured, please.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Pink Rathian nightmare is over.
Oh my gosh. How many monsters did I let transition this run? 4? Oof.
See, that injected a lot of excitement in the run. That was
Yeah,
intense.
it's actually 100% entertainment value. Whew. All right. We don't have to capture monsters anymore, so that's good.
Yay.
Yeah.
Let's just get through our track gathering, which, hey, this is the perfect time that it gives us fast track gathering, which is going to be hilarious because I'm going to get like 3 pattern 1s, which are the fastest patterns. 'Cause, yeah, I guess I didn't mention that. Not all track patterns are equal. Some are faster than others. And in my PB, I got the worst possible pattern and lost 1 minute and 15 seconds. It's great. So let's get good ones this time. So just like Pink Rathian, these can spawn in one of 3 patterns. So I'll be landing in here and trying to tell which one it is. Oh, okay, it is this one. I didn't see that. This is the fast one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. That's not a noise I like to hear. Oh, hey, look, it's regular Rathian.
Whoa.
Yeah, since these are expeditions, monsters can spawn in them. Oh my gosh, everyone's here. Grab Rave. 9, 10, 11. Not even close. It's unfortunate, but this is like the longest section of the game. But as of Iceborne, they added so many more tracks to each of these. This section of the game used to take 45 minutes, like at the worst.
Oh, wow.
Pre-Iceborne, it was awful.
Yeah. And now it's like 12 if you get worst possible RNG.
Much more manageable. Yeah, because we need to gather 20 points in total, and every pattern now has 20 points. Thank goodness. This should say 210. Yep, 210. Perfect. All right, Teo tracks. So yeah, we're just gathering the tracks for the last couple of Elder Dragons. Like, you know, thematically, the game's like, hey, like we see some like weird stuff going on. Go figure out what it is. Okay, we go and gather the tracks, and then these guys tell us what's up. What's actually really funny is that we're doing some of this stuff out of order. So it it's going to be a little weird when we're moving back in Astera. Man, remember when I said we're going to get best pattern?
Hey, guess what?
We're going to get best pattern.
Huge.
We could have saved a minute. Woo. 3, 4. Five, 6. You know what it is? We didn't see Downy Crakes. That's what it was. We weren't blessed with the birds.
Hold up.
I'm coping. I'm hoping they show up to make this so much better than it's been. The Downy Crakes are a rare endemic life that can appear on the backs of these monsters, like at literally any time in the game. And I used to think they were cursed, and then Green got them in like the first. Right, you got like your first sub 230 with those, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge milestone for this run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we'd been saying it would never happen for the past 2 years.
Now look at us. This run will not be sub 230. By the way.
Because it'll be sub 220, right?
You're right, exactly.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let me lower
Circles
the
and
estimate
squares.
real quick. I got you.
Yeah, The community sum of best is like a 221, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there.
No problem.
We've only let 3 monsters transitioned, had to hunt Kulu twice, and carded once. Honestly, I mean, I'd be shocked if we didn't make estimate. This is the second fastest pattern. This one. Hello, soldier crab. I did not mean to do that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine, 10, 11, 12,
There's a lot of tracks.
13. Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, counting to 20 is hard.
Don't worry,
But
we're
yeah,
almost to the
this
cool scripted one.
yeah. We are almost to the cool scripted one. And in master rank you have to do this again for 2 monsters, and you have to count to 300 and 350
Oh my
/ 400.
Gosh.
Yup. Because that one's fun. That's not even in intervals of 10. It's in intervals of 15 and 25. So I'm sitting there like trying to do math in my head, like, what's 15 plus 25? Help. But yeah, that was a design decision. Like, this whole section was a design decision. Listen, I absolutely love Monster Hunter World, and this game is fantastic and does a lot of things right. Tracks was not one of them. Oops, I saved. Time loss. We're going to miss sub 230 because of that.
Oh, damn.
All right, Green. Go for it.
So, might remember at the beginning of the run, Mercer skip, when we got out of the walking radius. We're going to do it again. Very, very easy trick. Saves like 10 seconds. And no one has ever messed this up in their PB. Ever.
Ever.
Definitely not
No one's
me.
ever lost world record because they missed this.
Yeah, definitely not.
This one's actually not nearly as easy as Mercer skip.
If you're not greedy, it's very easy.
Hardest tech in the game.
Yep. And now it's
Save
done.
10 seconds. It's also really funny. 2 years ago, I said that was impossible.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't have enough people running this game. And so, like, once more people started looking at it, and we're like, wait, what do you mean you can do that?
Mm-hmm.
We can't wallbang Paolumu out of the cutscene. What do you mean?
Yep.
There's no angle for that.
Okay, but now we're in the proper recess. So Nergigante tracks work a bit differently. There's no RNG on this first visit. There's 3 locations we have to go to with 2 spikes at each and a cutscene we have to watch. So this whole section is just routed around what cutscene do we go to first? How do we get out of it? Is there anything else we need to worry about?
Monka shake.
Oh.
The volcano here.
Yeah. So this first cutscene doesn't have anything too crazy going on before it. The only problem we really have to solve is the monster in the cutscene will roar as soon as we get out of it, and that can slow us down, and dodging roars is hard. Luckily, the cutscene actually places us right on the edge of his roar radius, so if you move backwards at all, it just won't hit you.
That's to me dodging this roar for 2 years.
Yep, same. Easy. This next one is my favorite. There's a spike on the left side of the room and a spike on the right side of the room and a cutscene trigger in the middle of them. We gather the spike on the right, and then we'll dodge into the cutscene trigger. And the cutscene is going to move us directly in front of the spike on the left. And then we can just ghillie so the monster doesn't mess with us while we gather it.
You guys like Dota Gamma? Got him. A time loss was for all the Dota Gamma haters out there.
How could you? He was just
Hey.
vibing, and you dropped a boulder on him.
I was giving him a snack. This one's pretty neat because we start on the other side of the room, and it puts us on the literal other side, the cutscene does. So we intentionally come this way last. And instead of opening our map and returning, we can just use a, just kind of like open up the menu and wait till we gather that last track. And then that like cuts out us having to open the map and loading in a bunch of areas. It actually saves like 5 or 6 seconds. And it's like all these like little time saves that, really do add up. When I fast travel here, we can stop because I just realized what we're about to do. We're about to do Nergigante. So I will give you a countdown here in a second. Do my fast travel first. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're going to take one last quick break before we get into this exciting endgame boss rush here. Again, this will be the last break, and then we're going to see the finale of this awesome Monster Hunter World run. Again, thank you to Jal Bagel for running this so far. Again, you can drop him a follow just by hovering over his name on the Twitch title and clicking the little heart. That's all you got to do. Before we go to the break, I just want to remind everyone that if you missed out on any of our hotfix shows or past events like Flame Fatales, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content. And with that, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to our Monster Hunter World speedrun by Jal Bagel. We are at the final stretch of this run. Hope everyone in chat's excited to see some exciting boss rush content here. A lot of fun Elder Dragon stuff, mostly, right?
Oh yeah.
Remaining. Oh yeah.
The last 6 hunts are all Elder Dragons.
Oh, very exciting. So we're going to get right back into that. Before we do, I just want to remind everyone that your subs, your Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, bits, all that good stuff cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel helps support GDQ Hotfix. Please consider subscribing or cheering if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content. And Jal, please just get us right back into it.
All right. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. So, if you guys missed it, we're bringing it back. Sorry, Switch Axe, you are my favorite weapon, but SNS is just significantly better here. And we're actually going to give our Palico a weapon now. They're going to get the high-rank Pookie Pookie weapon. That's going to be for the very last fight. Like we said, we're now at the home stretch of the run. We're going to go and fight Elder Dragons. And we don't have to capture anymore. Elder Dragons can't be captured. So we have to hunt them from 100 down to 0, 60-second end quest timer. There's no way to avoid it. We're just going to do that every single time. We're not going to explain the scripts. I'm just going to let them kind of speak for themselves. But if there's like stuff that we can talk about beforehand, we will. For this fight specifically, we're going to talk, for all the Elder Dragons, we're going to talk about Elder Dragon Aura. Every Elder Dragon has its like own unique aura that it can do. And Nergigante's is its spikes. So its spikes can be no spikes, white spikes, or black spikes. No spikes is okay, white spikes is awesome, black spikes is bad. We're going to be breaking white spikes to chain topples together. You'll see exactly what that means or what it looks like here in a second, because I'm just going to do it. We're just going to do it. Full send. Instantly bad AI. Let's go. Instantly double bad AI. Let's go. Good enough. That run that he does there is the only thing you can't do an opener against that he can do. But it's okay. That's why we get max potions, just for the added safety. Really not even for this fight. priming up a KO here. And now that he's enraged, we're going to pull him down to the next area. That's a horn break, so we have to attack the leg. Wow, double jumps. Let's go. Oh, stagger. Let's go. Oh, hitboxes. Let's try this again. What's unfortunate is that we are kind of on a timer for the tenderize, but we can't really rush this. 1, 2, 3.
I don't think I ever knew you could shoot those crystals to fall.
Oh yeah.
I do not remember this at all.
You're gonna learn a lot watching these.
For real, for real.
Good, bro. Dude, you're giving me such good AI. Oh my gosh. Keep it up, man. You're doing great. He didn't read the script either. 1, 2, 3. Oh, back top rush it. This is why PR is so good. Make a mistake? No, you didn't. 1, 2, 3. Rush this one. That's actually fine. Oh, I missed it. Never mind. No longer fine. Stop. Uh-oh. So even with defender weapons, damage here is still scary. I'll do my best to stay full health here. One, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. And then, yeah, we lost our tenderize. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, stop doing bad attacks. Give me good attacks. That works. One, 2, 3. Just counting hand swipes there so I know my timing for my PR. Alright. We didn't die, and that's the important part.
Yeah.
Because boy howdy did it try. Definitely a fight that can go wrong fast. So at the end of these end quest timers, we are going to be trying to gather more, attack items. There's a might seed in this corner over here that we're going to be grabbing a bunch because we need them for the last couple of hunts. And we've been gathering them all throughout the game. And so we need to finish strong and make sure that we have it, because without this damage, we can't keep these locks together. And so like these aren't necessarily full scripts because they are kind of dependent on AI, but they are, I mean, they can be full scripts because we can lock the monster potentially. It's just very difficult to do. It's all about timing and micro adjustment, and you just really got to like read your situation. That's why like when I made a mistake, I was like, oh, I need to rush these PRs now. That's why Perfect Rush is such a versatile weapon, because it has such a variable speed that you can do it at. You can do it really fast or really slow. Nergi is going to be our last upgrade material. He's going to give us a Immortal Dragon Scale. Such a cool sounding item. That's our last item there. So we're going to have the strongest weapon that we could possibly have in this portion of the video game here in seconds. But before that, we have to do, like I said, we did our track gathering a little out of order. So we have to go and talk to all the NPCs again. They're going to tell us to go and find Elder Dragon tracks. We already did that, so it's going to look a little funky. Everyone say hi to Poogie right here.
Hi, Poogie.
Hi, Poogie.
Hello.
Look at him. What a good friend.
I love Poogie so much.
There is a... Oh, that was interesting. My controller disconnected as I lifted it up, and then I hit M on my keyboard, apparently. For map. There's a meme category that's called Frog and a Hog %, where the entire speedrun is get the hog and a frog costume for Poogie as fast as possible.
Aww.
So if you guys want a fun speedrun, I'm just saying. It's 12 minutes long.
I'm in.
Let's go. We got him.
What's the thing with Poogie? They made it so like actually petting him does something, right?
Yeah, he can find, like, you can raise his affection and he can find items for you around Astera.
Okay.
But there's, like, some items that are always there. Like, some of his costumes are always there. So, like, the hog and a frog one, like, you can unlock from the very beginning of the game.
Cool.
It's constantly there. It's literally how fast can you finish the Jagras quest at the very beginning, the one that we use the fire to do quickly. It's like, how fast can you do that? And then how good is your movement? All right, so we're going to do something a little weird here. We're not going to talk to field team leader. We're going to save that for later. After we fight 2 of the Elder Dragons, it actually puts us next to him. So we'll talk to him then. A little cool little routing thing. It saves a couple of seconds. And it actually puts these Elder Dragons in a better order for us. But we're going to hunt Teostra first. My favorite hunt. My favorite hunt casually. I don't think it's my favorite hunt speedrun-wise. But he's a lot of fun to bully casually. And then talking to this NPC will unlock our Valhazak quest. That's what we're going to be doing after this. Green, do you want to talk about Teostra auras and opener?
Yeah. So Teo has 2 possible auras, Fire Aura or Blast Aura. Neither one really breaks the script, but Blast Aura makes it a lot easier because Fire Aura, he's just constantly damaging us. The opener is very interesting. So it starts out by dodging the roar, which is scary. We're going to clutch onto him immediately, hit him 3 times with the claw to force a roar. And we're going to use that roar as an opening to get a mount. And then we'll drop off the mount and flash him to get an opening to do a PR. And that'll be the start of our script.
And if everything goes according to plan, he claggers and we're good. And then all we have to do is just hit a claw uppercut and it's okay. It's that easy, guys. It's super easy. Just hit the claw uppercut. Just do it right, Forehead.
You can miss 1 hit and have it still work.
I missed the roar. Oh. No, why jumps? Oh my gosh. The Teo can be like out of bounds, but we can't. Whew! All right, we're fine. How did I shoot 2? What?
You flashed him before he left the ground.
No, I shot 2 flashes.
Yeah, and the first one hit before he left the ground.
But how did I do that?
Gaming?
It's...
Hit me a little too hard.
It's okay. We're fine. We can still do it.
Oh.
Gotta jump forward. Just don't get hit by those. All right, there we go. We're fine. No lava bidets. We're okay. Easy. I planned it that way, honestly. Keeping it interesting for you guys. Entertainment value, right?
Yeah.
looks so scary. All right. No. Why runs?
He's a speedrunner, just like you.
I'm the speedrunner here. There can only be one. Oh, please. Thank you. Oh, I didn't realize he went unenraged there. Wait here. Oh, he is, of course, standing right on top of it. In. Out. Over! We're good. We're fine. Everything's fine, guys. Don't worry. It's fine. There we go. We got it back. We're fine.
And horns are broken, which means it's around 15% health remaining.
All right, last one. Whee! All right. Not even slightly worried.
Very nice.
I think I stopped breathing about halfway through that. That one gets sketchy when he starts doing things. I had blast ailment on me. If I get hit by anything, I explode and just die. It's like true damage. It's awful. Like true damage. It's not actually true damage. All right. I get an easy one next? No. The rest of them are not easy. Val Hazak is next. And Val is very interesting. Unlike Nergi, where Nergi can be claggered, toppled. And unlike Teo, where Teo can be claggered, toppled. We can't do that against Val Hazak because he's great. The stinkiest dragon. So what we'll have to do instead here is we're going to be doing what we call the pseudo lock. We're going to be using the fact that tenderizing gives us a pierce pod. We're going to be using that shotgun attack, right? The slinger burst to chain chest staggers and claggers together. It doesn't look nearly as pretty. It is not nearly as easy to do. And literally anything can make it not work. So let's give it a shot. Green, do you want to talk about this aura?
Yeah.
How great it is?
So
the
this
best aura in
aura
the video
is
game.
just a constant damage over time around him, and when he deals enough damage to you, it will cut your maximum health in half.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Not ideal. So we have null berries, and I have right now one max potion to kind of counter that. So if it ever happens to me, I have to take care of it immediately. Null berries will restore my health to normal, and then the max potion will heal me to full very quickly. But I only have one of those. I can only do it once. So we just have to play very carefully. And before you can do that.
Why push through vines when you can shotgun them?
Yeah. All right, Val. You've been giving me great AI. Give me great AI here. Sick. He gave me bad AI. And I'm not going to play greedy. I'm just going to wait. I want to wallbang him here, but if I clutch on and I'm not fast enough, he can back up and then just we miss the wall. Oh, good. We get this twice? Dude. He didn't read the script. But now we can do this. Bonk. Barber cut behind the wing gets us onto the chest. We want to tenderize the chest. Get our first Pierce Pod, and I deal 300 damage to the chest before I start doing the pseudo lock. One, two. Oh my gosh, can I please hit the chest? That should be... I got a leg break. So I guess everything's out the window. The lizard's got it. All right, I think I can get this back with a clagger. So let's see if we can't get the clagger here. Ow. I am now in 100% ad-lib mode. I just need to see like what he's gonna do after each of these things now. Ooh. PR Slinger versus OP. I get hit by this? You live. I have absolutely been effluviaed the second before getting hit by one of those and then instantly died, so. Happy that didn't happen. Hmm? We have recovered it somehow. Ooh. Good. No clagger. The clagger's on the chest flinch, right?
The clagger is on the chest or a broken arm, either or.
Yeah. Yeah, we just bunga bunga now. It's almost dead. Oh, where am I? Oh, this is not a great position. Break, let's go. Banish to the back of the legs, let's go. Para, let's go. Effluvia from the Gyros, let's go, dude. Can y'all move, please? Thanks. All right, sick. We got it before it transitioned. Yeah, it's just kind of how that goes. That was actually fine. We got it before it transitioned, so that's still like around the 5-minute mark, right? Yeah, we're like pretty much on 5 minutes. I still got time to gather the rest of my stuff here. The next fight, the hard part is the opener. And then after that, it's just all really good PR timing. But the next fight's Kushala.
Yeah. The other rough part about the next fight is if you get a blast proc, you need to completely shift your positioning because you can just over damage the head and lose your whole lock.
I just don't do that. I'm not good enough to notice. But yeah, it is truly unfortunate sometimes when you just get a blast proc and it completely ruins your script. So on Kushala here, we're going to be headlocking it. Kushala is one of the very few monsters who doesn't have whose head doesn't share a threshold with Clagger. So like Nergigante and Teo, like after we did damage to the head, we would be alternating between a knockdown and a Clagger. On Kushala, we will not get Claggers. We will only get knockdowns. Speak to FTL. Where are you going, bud? He was talking. All right, cool. So the opener to this is kind of it's just timing based. Kushala can like flail around at the very first possible moment that we can wallbang here. So I ideally get a claw hit before it does anything, but the timing on it is very, very tight. So I'm just gonna try my best to get it right. We can usually time it based off of the leg, but it's still just like hard to do. Good. Hardest part of the fight right there. So focused. Okay, so the only reason I went in so focus mode there is because every single falling shield bash immediately after it is a huge micro adjustment. It doesn't really look like anything, but I have to take into consideration where I landed, where the head is, where its feet are, because I can get pushed to the back of the monster, and at what point can I start my PR. There is so much micro adjustment to that fight, but like doing it well is just so good.
Yeah, it looks super clean. That was super cool to see.
Yeah, that was a great Kushala fight. That's one that is always so cool to see done well.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now to do it again. So we still have one more fight, uno más.
Let's do it.
The last fight of the run. Really quick, I hope everyone's really been enjoying this. I've had an absolute blast doing it. Even though it hasn't been the best run, it's been the best fun.
All right, I think Chad has been enjoying this very much. Again, Chad, if you are enjoying this, be sure to drop Jalbagel a follow. Twitch.tv/Jalbagel. You can also just hover over his name on the title and click the little heart button. If you like that perfect Shala, then drop a follow for that.
All right, so the last fight, Xeno'jiiva.
It's almost over. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know, it's almost over. I can't believe it. Underestimate too.
Woo!
Woo! It's always underestimate, right? So Xeno'jiiva is the last fight of Xeno%, right? This is the first kind of, this is the like default any percent category. It's first credits, you know, it's the base game experience. And it's a cool fight. It does come in 2 phases, but we pretty much do the exact same thing in both phases. We don't like its left hand. It's plain and simple. So we're going to bully its left hand. This is hand lock. This is a lot like Kushala. It's a lot of like micro adjusting and like understanding where we are and like how much damage we've done. But you know, it's probably like, I don't know, it's probably easier. The hard part is just getting the lock started and then maintaining the lock dependent on like where you are and what you had to do. Everybody welcome the cat back. He gets to come back with us. Oh my gosh, whoops, I said no. All right, you coming with us. Xeno is really susceptible to poison, so we're bringing the cat with us to just deal extra poison damage. And, you know, cutscenes are cool and all, but this one's really long, so what if we didn't? Bump. All right. Anyways, my controller just disconnected. We're good. Who did you target? You targeted the cat. No. Get over here, Fix. So we want to drop a rock on it first. It's going to give us an opening to tenderize the leg. And if you guys have like casually fought Fatalis, you might know of cone baiting. Large monsters are actually like very manipulatable. Oh my gosh. I say as I can't manipulate this one. But you can use your positioning and movement to bait out specific AI. Just try not to get too far away here. I just want him to get closer. So I can drop that rock on him, and it gives me an opening to do this. Do nothing, do nothing, do nothing, do nothing, do nothing. Sick. All right. I'm just going to let him exist for a second, because I don't really like him inside this wall. Ow. And if he gets underneath another rock, we will drop it. Oh, please, why? Oh, man, that would have been really good if I was ready for that, but I wasn't. He was right underneath the other rock. So, yeah, Green, can you explain a little bit of the strategy here and, like, the thought process?
Yeah. So now we have the lock going. And,
Never mind.
He did the one piece of AI that can break it. But the
Amazing.
idea of this is we have 18 stones in our slinger, and every time we topple him, we can do what's called a slinger burst, a little shotgun move, and start a PR on his leg. And that times out just right for us to land a PR finisher on him as he stands up and get a topple again, assuming we land every hit and don't lose any of our attack buffs.
Controller, you want to stay connected for a bit, bud? Thanks. Appreciate it. Man, micro USBs were a great idea. You know, what if we just dropped 3 of these? Oh, it is. Yeah, I should have rushed that and I could have fit it. Micro USBs were like a great idea for like 20 minutes until you tried to like do speedrunning. Right. Oh, hello? Why are you here? See, no jump scare.
So step forward in phase 2 is fine because he'll almost always combo it into this move, which is an opening for us to get the lock back.
watch my health here. I might have to drop the lock to heal. Oh, it actually wouldn't be a bad time to drop it anyways.
Yep, the Tenderize on the arm wore off. That is one of our damage buffs, so we won't be able to keep the lock until it's reapplied. And we'll just take this time to reapply all damage buffs. So Sharpness, reapply our Might Seed, and get the Tenderize on the arm.
Oh my gosh, he got it. Let's go. Whoa, he dropped it. Why? How did I go over it? You think hitting the big monster with the big arms with the claw uppercut would be easy? It's not. Oh my gosh, I buffered that. Why? Accidentally double tapped. Yeah, perfect rush is exactly that. You do have to be like perfect with it. It's generous, but like, ow, you can mess it up. Can you get out of the areas where you make hot ground, please? Time is coming up. The moment this thing dies, it's time. And it's probably going to be in like 4 more PRs. Super crit, no, not like this. Oh my gosh, it's probably like a hit away. So super critical ruins everything. And it's like weirdly like time-based, but not timed-based. Gosh, why are you doing like the worst things? Uh-oh. We'll be fine, right? Oh yeah, we're fine.
That's a little woozy.
That's just what happens when you run out of stamina. Oh my gosh, it really was 1 health. Time! It actually was just 1 health. Yeah. So that's Xeno percent. That's Monster Hunter World Xeno percent. Yay! 7 and 13. That's great, man.
That was awesome.
We did awesome.
That was a fantastic run. I think everyone in chat really enjoyed that. Thank you very much,
that was a blast to do.
That was
thank you
so
for
awesome.
having me.
Yeah, thank you both for being here. Any shout outs that you would both like to do?
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to the Monster Hunter community. Just like in general, there's not a lot of people that do this speed run, but the Monster Hunter community in and of itself is like amazing, right? Super welcoming. If you guys want to do this speed run, you can find it on the SRC speedrun.com leaderboards. There's a link to the Discord. You can find myself and Green and a bunch of other people that are super passionate about this game. And if you like this stuff, feel free to come by the stream. I am practicing doing Fatalis percent, which is a stupid idea, but we're gonna do it. Which is a brand new file all the way through mastering, past post game to Fatalis. So like, you know, if you liked this and you liked Pain, you'll like that.
How long is that? Do you think that'll be?
Shara takes 8 hours to do.
Okay.
And then I estimated about 3 to 4 hours to get to Fatalis.
Okay.
And then it takes about 30 minutes if I fight it. Like it's 30 minutes to kill Fatalis.
Okay, so
and that's if I succeed.
Only like all the hours you'd be awake in a day. No big deal.
Yeah, like
that's fine.
I'm just gonna wake up at 8 and then we'll see where we land.
Any shout outs for you, Green?
No, I think Bagel got it all.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. Hey, shout outs to Greenspeed for like being one of the most passionate people about this speed game and like figuring out the majority of the speed strats that I failed in this run today.
Well, thank you both again. Everyone in chat, be sure to drop them both a follow. And again, reminder that we're just filling in today for random number. I can't even, I'm just going to say it all in one word. Random number generation, which will return in 2 weeks at its normal time, October 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then stay tuned for Time Capsule coming up after the break, featuring the year 2001 and special guest host Frozen Flagon.